Hey everybody, Coach David here with this week's Tuesday Leadership Tip. If you're wondering why I'm all hot and sweaty, it's because, I hit the gym today, and this has a lot to do with what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about today is goal setting, how to set effective goals with your employees, with yourself. And this is pertinent because I just was at my doctor's last week, and let's just say it didn't go so well. Since I made the move about 6 months ago, cross country, I've been using every excuse in the book. Oh, I've got too long to drive tonight. I can't stop and get good food, healthy food. I can't go and do a workout. Life's too much of a whirlwind. And that has caught up with me. Cholesterol level through the roof. Blood pressure way up. And needless to say, I'm going to have to change some things around. Coincidentally, the entire weekend at school down in Florida this past weekend, all we were talking about was all the research that's been done on goals. And here's the thing. Just like I talked to you about recognition and how there's lots of research that shows when you give your employees recognition, they perform better. Here's the other thing about goals. When you set effective goals, they perform better. And not only that, you get profitability out of this. Tons of studies are showing that. But we also know there's tons of people that set New Year's resolutions every year and by February have given up. So there's good goals, there's bad goals, there's effective goals, there's very ineffective goals. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is they did this 35-year compilation of all the research that's been done on goal setting, and it's talked about what is it that you need to do as a manager to make sure you achieve positive results with your goal setting with your employees or for yourself. So first off, they found that goals do a variety of good things. Number one, they direct attention and effort. They basically get everything irrelevant out of the way and they get the employee focused on what matters most. The other thing, they have an energizing function. Let's face it, people are competitive. They want to win. So goals can provide that energy. Higher goals can lead to greater effort. It also affects persistence. They found that when goals are set, it prolongs effort. People work faster. They work more intensely for longer periods of time. And then the last part is it creates a curiosity, increased interest, and like an application of knowledge. So that's the baseline for why I want to set goals. But then they also felt that you have to set specific and challenging goals. The interesting thing about challenging goals, they said that the more difficult the goal, the better the level of effort and performance. But there's a couple of caveats. It can't be outside of abilities. It can't be beyond their limits of abilities. And commitment needs to remain part of this. If commitment lapses, if they don't have the ability, that's not going to do it. But if they have commitment and if they have the ability, set difficult goals. And difficult goals will always beat the quote, do your best goals. Has anybody ever succeeded when they say, oh, I want to eat better. Oh, I want to exercise more? No, it's got to be specific. So then when you get that far, they found two things are critical for getting your employees committed. And employees have to be committed to their goals. So how do we get them committed? Number one, they've got to believe the goal is important. And obviously, if you put a monetary incentive behind it, it's going to become important. But there are other ways that doesn't necessarily cost you an incentive. It can be one of the things they said, have them make a public commitment. So with my classmates, I told them all that I was going to lose 2 inches off my waist by next time we were down in Florida. I know I do not want to face all my classmates as a failure. So this is providing lots of motivation. People feel it impacts their integrity, how they look in other people's eyes. So getting them to make a public commitment, that's one thing. You inspiring a vision for them and managing them in a supportive way. That helps build importance. And, you provide that purpose. You give them the good rationale, the explanation of why the goal is important, kind of with the change formula where you're giving them a strong vision as to the why. And then the last thing is allow them to participate in deciding on the goal. This stimulates the exchange of ideas, how we're going to hit the goal, strategizing. Some employees, you got to be careful. They set it too high because they want to say what you think you want to hear, or they set it too low to be on easy street. So you got to manage that as well. But Long story short, building importance is key. And then the other part is you got to build their self-confidence. And when we got to Dr. Henry Cloud again, he's going to talk about this. They have to believe they can achieve it. And that's going to be you providing that confidence along with them. So we want to make sure they have adequate training. We want to make sure they know how to do this stuff. You need to provide role models. They talked about the importance of giving them role models. If you've got somebody on your team that does it really well, get those two together. Have them practice. If you can spend time with them role modeling, then you do the same. You do it, have them do it. Have them try it again and again and again. And then the last part is communicating that confidence in them. I'll share with you, I was at the gym once and I was struggling and I was ready to quit. And this person came up to me and they said, they acknowledged how hard I was pushing myself. And they noticed that. And I'll tell you, that just gave me an extra spring in my step. I went up like 3 notches after I got that compliment. So you never know on any given morning what employee just might need a little bit of a compliment, a little bit of a you can do this to set their whole day in a positive direction. So the last part to this is you got to provide feedback. For good or bad. You give them motivation, but you also got to talk with them about this is what I'm seeing going well. This is what I'm seeing as a struggle. What are you seeing? What's working? What's not working? Having those continuous conversations, that's what helps people hit their goals. So in any case, hopefully I'll keep my end of the bargain up and hit my goal. If you've got a goal in mind, share it with me. Send me an email. Like I said, making it public helps you hit your goals. So that's my Tuesday tip of the day. Hope you have a good one.